also provide the leadership and the direction to the employees, wherein they can provide the effective concluding activities to earn the incentives. And then you have the innovation. So innovation is another major function of women entrepreneurs. Okay, so majorly when we are talking about the innovative skills, they have to introduce the new products, they have to create the new markets, they have to introduce new process of production and find out the new and better sources of raw materials and developing a better form of, industrial organization. So they need to be focusing on the various aspects relating to the innovation. So coming to the growth of the women entrepreneurship in India, the women entrepreneurs in India comprise a small proportion of the total entrepreneurs. So the emergence of women entrepreneurs has been hindered, like there are various constraints, there are social traditions, there are cultures, there are affiliation system, there are traditions. So apart from this, apart from their family and the social hindrances, they have to also face the hindrances when it comes to the technical knowledge. Okay, so they don't have the knowledge which is really required when it comes to the technical information or technical upgradation. So, and moreover, the women entrepreneurs are not as tough or major form of competitors to the men, because the women entrepreneurs form only a small portion. So the spread of education and the growing awareness among the women has really motivated them to enter into the various fields. Every field they are trying to boost and they try to venture, they are trying to enter. So it can be the solar cookers, or it can be the TV capacitors, or the electronic ancillaries, or small foundries, or whatever it is. We find everywhere the women organizations or the enterprises are taking the lead. And wherever it is accelerated by several government agencies and the voluntary organizations, which are providing various assistance required to them, so that the women entrepreneurs are encouraged. Now, the state governments, it can be Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, or it can be Bihar, Tamil Nadu, Telangana. They all have been getting the, they all have taken the steps to promote the women entrepreneurs. So we have Women Cooperative Finance Corporation for the development of women entrepreneurs. And this was set up by the AP government in the year 1975. So there are a set of package of incentives which will be availed by the women entrepreneurs. And you get the exemptions from the payment of the stamp duty and the registration of electricity duty. And for a certain period, you don't have to pay the taxes, some kind of benefits are given to them. And then the few governments have given the leadership training programs to the women entrepreneurs to, the kind of skills, what they should possess, some kind of training has been given. And then few of the states have given the membership into the state government milk vendors or vegetable vendors or the casual workers. Okay, so each and every state has set up some kind of benefit to motivate the women entrepreneurs. Like, for example, again, you take Kerala, it has made its presence felt in industries from the ready-made garments to the computers. And the special assistance programs for the women entrepreneurs is provided, wherein they are capable of taking the managerial decisions, and so many financial corporations in the state of Rajasthan have provided the financial aid to them. They have provided the support by training and employment programs. And you also have the Rashtriya Mahila Kosh, or it can be the training of rural youth and for self-employment. Or we have Dwakra in our AP, that is the development of women and children in rural areas. So many of the women entrepreneurs have got the major support from the government. In a way that really prospered them for a better steps towards the development of the enterprise. And the government of Telangana is making giant strides towards developing the state as one of the major hub for the innovation and the entrepreneurship. So there are many flagship initiatives taken by the Telangana government, and we have the State Innovative Cell, we have T-Hub, we have T-Works, and all these are owing to the progressive policies of the state, Telangana, and it was selected to host the prestigious Global Entrepreneurship Summit in the year 2017. So, and the main objective or the theme of this program was Women First and Prosperity for All. So such kind of programs, flagship programs, were developed and ventured by the various state governments. And if you see the participation of women in the management ownership in the SSI sectors and state-wise, you see right from Jammu and Kashmir to the rest of the states, wherein the participation is very high. And the highest being the Maharashtra, and then you have West Bengal, and then you have Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, and you also have Karnataka, and then Kerala with the highest number, Tamil Nadu, Puducherry. So many aspects. All India, it is, the number is very promising, where in almost all the states you find the women entrepreneurs are being encouraged and they are being participated. But apart from the encouragement, the financial aid and the leadership aid or the training programs, we find most of the women entrepreneurs are facing problems. So what kind of problems they are facing? So it can be the independence. There is no independence for the women entrepreneurs. She being a woman being a female. So in most of the cases, they have to work as a subordinates to the men. And generally, the basic ingredients of the independence are authority. So for any entrepreneurship to be successful, you need to have the authority and control. And unfortunately, the women entrepreneurs are facing a lot of difficulty in proving themselves, though they have the ability and the capacity. But I mean, lack of confidence, lack of trust, there's no independence given to them where they can take a call. And then we have the social attitudes. Now, what are social attitudes? These are equally responsible for keeping women away from the training and skill in rural areas. Like it can be the presence of elders restricting the young girls from venturing out, or where there are very strict boundaries and the boundaries which relating to their mobility or their work. I mean, it can be relating to the social customs where women are not allowed to go out during late evenings or something of that sort. So you find lot of, social attitudes which keep the women entrepreneurs at bay. And then the low literacy. So literacy is one of the basic ingredient which boosts confidence and the level of knowledge. So when it comes to the women entrepreneurs, the education levels are low, and I mean the literacy rate is less. And then when it comes to the knowledge of other entrepreneurs is very less, because whenever you are educated, you go through a newspaper, you go through a reading, you'll have some kind of information. Other than that, you'll not have any information pertaining to the what's really happening outside the world. And then low risk bearing, financially, they are running an enterprise which is low among women. And moreover, you have only, you have a very less composition of female folk, which really cuts the social benefit. I mean, they don't have any sufficient support because of the low risk bearing capacity. And then you have the dual responsibility. Yeah, women should always be doing the household chores, and then again you go out and do the business. So, I mean, you cannot run away from your responsibilities. As you have a family, you need to take care of your family. The family responsibilities play a very important role. And then apart from that, you have the societal responsibilities. So you have to follow those social norms, and then you have to work simultaneously and earn profit. So which is the conflict of interest. I mean, you need to have so many adjustments to be done, so many places where you need to accommodate one another. So in a way that is really going to pull down the attitude of the women entrepreneurs. So they are so very dependent on someone so that they can take care of the family, and then the concentration can be given to the work. And then the financial constraint. Now, whether it is an ordinary enterprise or women enterprise, generally we have the financial crunch. So, the problems of the finance of the women entrepreneurs still remain a challenge. I mean, they don't have any access to the external funds. Because of the inability to provide the tangible security, generally, whatever the assets are there, generally the assets are not there in the name of a woman. So, you cannot provide any security to raise the funds, and very few women have the property in their name. And whenever it comes to the financial institutions or the banks, they have a very negative attitude towards the women entrepreneurs. And as a result, they rely on their own funds, that is the loans from the family and the friends. So generally such amount will be very less, very meager amount, which is not sufficient to run the business. Hence, that would be one of the major problems. And then you have the marketing problems. Now, marketing, most of the businesses, when we see the product or the production process, though it is very excellent, but when it comes to the marketing is very poor. Now, what can be done? So the competition has become intensified in most of the areas, and wide variety of products are appealing to the consumers. So it has become very difficult to survive in a market where the small entrepreneurs are there with the low technology, and they have to compete with the entrepreneurs who have the vast knowledge or high innovative products. And there are no storage facilities. Like, even though you're producing in bulk quantities, even though you're able to produce the goods on economical basis, still you need to store them. You need to have a proper storage where you can retrieve the goods at the time of necessity. So, you have the considerable middlemen who earn a lot of margins, but when it comes to giving to the women entrepreneurs, there is a lot of difficulty. Again, there are few entrepreneurs which are facing problem for the payment of the warehouses or for the storage facilities or so on and so forth. And the women entrepreneurs do not know how to synchronize their products with market requirement. Okay. So, they don't know how to enhance their value of their products with good packaging or with good advertising or the promotional skills. They feel that they are producing a wonderful product and they do have the market. Unfortunately, without promotion, nothing can be sold in the market. And then you have the fast mushrooming of the small units, which creates inter-unit competition within the small scale industries or so on and so forth. And you also have competition from the multinational companies. They again pose a great danger to the women entrepreneurs. So those entrepreneurs who innovate or restrict their operations in their area, that would be the strength. They can only cater to the needs of that market and not to any other foreign market. And then talking about the sufficient arrangements are not made wherein the women entrepreneurs can sell their products. And limited mobility, yeah, they are handicapped to move from one place to another place because, they have their family at one place. And apart from that, you have the attitude of the government officials, the licensing authorities, the labor officers. These people, they make the life miserable for the women, where they have to run from the pillar to post to get the documentation or to get the license or something of that sort. Okay. And then comes to the government policy towards women entrepreneurship. So Government of India formulated various policies and introduced special schemes to promote women entrepreneurship. Many government and non-government organizations were encouraged to conduct special training programs and the awareness programs. And they are trying to implement various entrepreneurial activities with the modern management techniques, or it can be the project planning or so on and so forth. So when it comes to the industrial policy in 1991, the government of India has stressed the need for the conducting so many entrepreneurship development programs for the women, and a special emphasis on rural women in order to encourage them to enter into the entrepreneurial arena. Now, coming to the existing policies for women entrepreneurship development in India, there are various policies of MSMEs for women entrepreneurship development, which play a key role in the process. So after reviewing the existing policies and the way they are focusing on the women enterprises, the following key findings have been classified under 3 headings, that is the regulatory policies, the policies which are concerned with ensuring compliance by individual women entrepreneurs and firms with laws, and there are rules and regulations laid down under those laws for various aspects of business. And there are promotional policies also, which are directly or indirectly help for women promotion, and the credit policies also, where there is a lot of care taken in the promotion of the credit support for the women entrepreneurs. And coming to the government schemes for the women entrepreneurship development in India, you have the Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, which are empowering women entrepreneurs through its different schemes, like helping women spark their talent, build their own identity. The Prime Minister's Employment Generation Program, the scheme which has given the inception in the year 1919, and there was so much of opportunities which are being provided to the women entrepreneurs. And then you also have the Khadi program, that is the KDIC program, and you also have the TREAD, which is nothing but trade related entrepreneurship assistant and development program. You have Mudra Yojana scheme, Stand Up India, Mission Indra Dhanush, and you have Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. So many programs and the policies and the functions are coming forward for the women entrepreneurship development. And there are various packages given to the women entrepreneurs, like Bharatiya Mahila Business Bank Loan, or Dena Shakti scheme, or Udyogini scheme, Sant Kalyani scheme. So many more have been added to the welfare of the women population in India. So when we observe the above mentioned schemes or the policies have revolutionized the women entrepreneurship spirit by enhancing the morale, effectiveness, and efficiency of the women entrepreneurs. So apart from encouraging the women entrepreneurs through various policies and the framework, government has also made adequate efforts like to cater their needs, which are listed as per the following. Like you have the specific target group developmental programs for women entrepreneurs. You have better educational facilities and loan schemes to for the external help of women entrepreneurs. And there is a necessary training and management skills to the women entrepreneurs. There is also vocational training to enable them to understand the production and the process management. And you also have training on professional competency and leadership skills. So the training and counseling with the help of committed NGOs or the psychologists or the managerial or the technical experts has really boosted the knowledge of the women entrepreneurs, and in a way they're able to utilize these services and try to prove something different in the market. And then when it comes to the women entrepreneurship platform, it is WEP, the acronym. So the idea of setting up a women entrepreneurship platform is to promote and support established as well as aspiring women entrepreneurs in India, where they took the seed at the 8th annual Global Entrepreneurship Summit, which was held in Hyderabad. And it is the first of its kind facilitation platform, which is mandated to work in collaboration with the public as well as the private organizations. And they are trying to bring them on a single platform by listing the women-focused entrepreneurship programs and initiatives And the programs are also on the website, and it will enable the sharing of the best practices amongst the women entrepreneurs and the partner organizations. Now, web partners, through a partnership, they tend to offer services to the members under various support areas like incubation and acceleration, entrepreneurship skills or marketing assistance, funding and financial assistance, or it can be the compliance support or social entrepreneurship. So generally the web has more than 30 partners from various industries and sectors, and they have signed statement of intent with many of those who have committed specific deliverables towards the web. And these partners include Atal Innovation Mission, CRISIL, SIDBI, NASCOM, Google, Facebook. And then you also have the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, ICAI, Institute of Company Secretaries of India, CII, Confederation of Indian Industry, WEE Foundation, Nexus Incubator, so on and so forth. So all these schemes have definitely helped the women entrepreneurs in showing the managerial and the technical knowledgeable skills, and to produce the innovative products and stay in the market focused. And apart from that, we have the self-help groups. Now, what do you mean by a self-help group? It is a group of rural poor who have volunteered to organize themselves into a group for eradication of poverty of the members. So, I mean, these are the groups which are not waiting for the help from any other third party. Instead, they are coming forward, they are agreeing to save some amount and convert their savings into a common fund known as group corpus. And the members of the group also have agreed to use this group fund in such a way that they receive a common management. So generally, a self-help group may consist of 10 to 20 persons. However, in difficult areas like deserts or skill or hilly areas or scattered areas, or where the population is less or spread, under such cases, minor irrigation and the disabled persons, this number may be from 5 to 20. So the difficult areas have to be identified by the state level committee, and then you can have the relaxation in membership, which will be permitted only in such areas. So generally, all the members of the group should be belonging to families below the poverty line. That is the main condition for starting a self-help group. And however, if a maximum of 20% and in exceptional cases, a maximum of 30% of the members in a group may be taken from families marginally above the poverty line. And these families, they don't have any problem in joining in the group, and below the poverty line members of the group. So in a way, this will help the families of the occupational groups like agricultural laborers or marginal farmers or the artisans, so above the poverty line, wherein, they can be excluded from the BPL list to become the members of the self-help group. So coming to the characteristics of an ideal self-help group, according to the Mysore Resettlement and Development Agency, a well-functioning self-help group should have the following structural features, it should comprise of 15 to 20 members, and all of them should be belonging to the same socio-economic strata of the society. And you should also have the rotational leadership. Members should regularly attend the meetings, and they should save the money and participate in all the activities voluntarily. And the procedure for the decision making in self-help group should be democratic in nature. Like, you should follow the democratic principles, and the leadership will be on rotational basis. And there should be transparency, 100% rules and regulations should be followed, and the maintenance of the account should be done on updated format. And it should be a socially viable institution. So self-help groups are of recent origin, and more than 17 million women from villages to improve their incomes or to educate their children or buy assets, they have joined the self-help groups, and they have also helped the women to campaign against the oppressive social practices. And they have become a force of development in their villages. And the studies have shown that the delivery of microfinance to the poor is productive, and it was effective and less costly. So, I mean, only when they are organized self-help groups, these benefits can be accustomed. And the self-help groups in the India represent a unique approach in the financial intermediaries, which combines the access to the low-cost financial services, and that too with the process of self-management and development of women. Okay. And then we see that the self-help groups are seen to confer many benefits, and both economic as well as the social. They can be community platforms where women can become active in the village affairs, and they can stand for the local elections or take actions or the address the community or the social issues. And not only do the self-help groups uplift the livelihood of the low-income householders, but also they give the empowerment. So through their social and political lives. So it is a very strong instrument of economic development, which creates financial habits and entrepreneurship talents amongst the women. Now, coming to the rural entrepreneurship. So the concept of rural entrepreneurship and the types of rural industries, the benefits and the need of the rural entrepreneurship, problems faced by the rural entrepreneurs, and the policy of the governments towards the rural entrepreneurs are, are dealt here. Now, coming to the rural entrepreneurship, which implies entrepreneurship emerging in rural areas. In other words, when we are talking about the establishment of the industries in the rural areas, it refers to the rural entrepreneurship. So this means that the rural entrepreneurship had with the rural industrialization, where more and more industries are set up in the rural areas. So village industries or rural industries means any industry located in the rural area where the population does not exceed 10,000. So when these two conditions are satisfied, and we have the additional conditions that with or without use of power, in which the fixed capital investment per head of an artisan or a worker does not exceed 1,000 rupees. Now the definition has been modified by the Government of India. So according to the latest definition, any industry located in rural area, village or town with a population of 20,000 and below, and an investment of rupees 3 crores in plant and machinery is classified as a village industry. Now coming to the types of rural industries, all the village industries come under the following broad categories. It can be the agro-based industries, agro-based like sugar industries, jaggery, oil processing, or pickles, fruit juices, spices, dairy products. And then we have the forest-based industries. Now the forest-based can be the wood products, bamboo products, it can be honey, it can be coir, or it can be the paper plates, eating paper plates, which are made from the forest leaves. Okay, so these can be categorized under forest-based industries. And then you have mineral-based industry. So it can be the stone crushing, cement industries, red oxide, wall coating powders, etc. Now, when it comes to the textile industry, the spinning, weaving, coloring, bleaching, etc. And then we have the engineering and services like agricultural equipment, tractors and pump sets, repairs, etc., which form under the type A of types of rural industries. Now, coming to the benefits of rural entrepreneurship, you have better distribution of farm produce, and which in turn leads to the rural prosperity. And then you have the entrepreneurial occupation rural for youth, resulting in the reduction of disguised unemployment. So what is disguised unemployment? Where one person can do, you employ 2 or 3 people. So in a way, the second and third person are getting salary for simply not doing anything. And then you have the formation of big cooperatives like AMUL for the optimum utilization of the farm producers. And apart from that, for the optimum utilization of the local resource in entrepreneurial venture by the rural youth. So these are the things where you can see that the rural entrepreneurship program is bringing forward the benefits. And then coming to the need for the rural entrepreneurship, you have to create the employment. That is the first basic requirement. Huge employment opportunities in the rural areas, as most of the industries located in the rural areas are labor intensive. So you need more people in the production of the rural industries. And then you have the checking rural urban migration. So under employment and unemployment in rural areas, they make the rural population often migrate to urban centers. This trend can be stopped if the employment opportunities are made available in rural areas along with the basic amenities and solve the problems. So, I mean, the economic problem is not mass production, but production by the masses. So Mahatma Gandhi observed that the real solution to India's economic problem is not mass production, that is the bulk production, but it should be produced by the masses. So rural industrialization through the development of rural entrepreneurs seem to be the solution to the poverty, where the unemployment and the backwardness in the Indian economy is somehow being addressed by these concerns. And yeah, the per capita income, as I said, whenever your production is increasing, your profits are increasing, that increases your wages and salaries, in turn increases the standard of living. And when your standard of living is increasing, you tend to save more. When you're saving more, that will be an investment. Again, investments leading to the large scale production. So in a way, this cycle will lead to the overall growth and development of the country. And then you have the enhanced value. So rural entrepreneurship creates value through recognition of business opportunity. So the management of risk taking appropriate to the opportunity through the communicative and management skills will mobilize the human resources, financial resources, and material resources. So, I mean, in a way, these will try to help the execution of the projects in the rural areas, and as well as the results which can be generated or benefited through rural areas. And then you have the controls, the concentration of the control. So, I mean, rural entrepreneurs controls concentration of the industry. So in the cities, thereby, they try to promote a balance among the regional places. In a way, you can see that there is, even balance between the smooth functioning of the economy. And then you have the better standard of living. As I said, increased salaries will try to bring increased growth and development, increased investments. And in a way, the moment you're receiving high salaries, your standards of living will be increased. Coming to the problems of rural entrepreneurs, yeah, there's always not prosperity. You also have the negative side also. So what are they? You have the problems here. So you have the first problem being the lack of infrastructural facilities. In spite of so many efforts made by the government, the growth of rural entrepreneurs is considered to be lukewarm. I mean, because of the inadequate infrastructure facilities. When I'm saying rural, yeah, in villages, you don't find continuous power distribution, electricity, transportation, warehousing, finance, whatnot. So there are n number of problems which are being faced by the women entrepreneurs or the rural entrepreneurs. And then you have the financial resources. As I said, the institutes which provide finances or monetary resources, they follow strict rules and regulations. And there is unnecessary lag in the loan disbursement, which really hampers the rural entrepreneurs in taking the timely decisions. And then the risk. So the rural entrepreneurs have less risk-bearing capacity, and due to which most of the financial institutions, they step back because they don't have any security and they don't have huge returns wherein they can just plunge that and give loans. And fierce competition, they serve with the tough competition, and they incur high cost of production because of the low volumes of output as well as the poor production process. And anyway, the middlemen, they are the people who are going to benefit. So in case of the rural entrepreneurship also, so the middlemen act a pivotal role, and generally whatever profits are there, the huge profits or the meager profits, they are pocketed by the middlemen, showing the losses to the entrepreneurs, rural entrepreneurs. And then the procurement of raw material. So procurement of raw material is a real problem for the entrepreneurs because the quality of the raw material and the kind of storage facilities wherein they cannot store the quality of the raw material which they have procured. So because of not taking enough care in the maintenance of the raw material quality, maybe the quality will be deteriorated. So when you're using a deteriorated quality of the raw material, when it comes to the final product will also be in a poor quality. And then lack of technical knowledge. There's too many legal formalities which are to be followed. I mean, they are not aware, and the knowledge about the legal rules and regulations are generally poor amongst the rural entrepreneurs. And apart from that, you also have tough competition. And then the toughness in understanding the technical terms, jargons, and the knowledge. And there are not proper training facilities which are being extended to the rural entrepreneurs where they can develop their skill and make themselves ready to the market. And as I said, when the quality of input is very bad, your quality of output will also be very bad. So the poor quality of the products due to lack of expertise will definitely hamper the market for the rural entrepreneurs. And the low skill level of the workers, generally when it comes to the workers in the rural areas, they are unskilled or semi-skilled. So whenever you want to capture the market, you need to be skilled. You need to be knowing the pulse of the consumer, and based on that, you need to have the special or extra techniques or tactics or the showcase of the product and all these. So these are not there with the rural entrepreneurs, which is a big hamper in the growth. Okay, difficulty or hurdle. And coming to the negative attitude. So when it comes to the rural entrepreneurs, there is a lot of negativity. I mean, from the family, from the society, from the support system. And I mean, very less encouragement is given for the rural entrepreneurs to, I mean, gain a step in the market because the fear of losses, I mean, the nature where, okay, we are good, we are going now, I mean, the life is going on. Why do we have to enter into the business and where there is no future, where there's a lot of uncertainty, lot of risk. So such kind of feelings will have negative impact over the rural entrepreneurs. So, I mean, what about the government policy to develop rural entrepreneurs? So, there are various policies which are taken by the government of India to develop and boost the rural entrepreneurs. The first one being the Prime Minister's Employment Generation Program, which is a credit-linked subsidy scheme. And it allows to set up the new micro enterprises and generate employment opportunities in the rural as well as urban areas. And the State Khadi Village Industries Board and the KVIC and the District Industries Center, all of them, they form part in providing the financial and the training needs required by the rural entrepreneurs. And the scheme of fund for the regeneration of traditional products. It was launched in the year 2005 and 6 to make the traditional industries more productive and competitive. So thereby organizing the traditional industries and the artisans into clusters. So a scheme for promoting innovation in the rural industry and entrepreneurship, We have Aspire, and it was launched in the year 2015 to promote innovation and rural entrepreneurship through rural livelihood. And then we also have Market Promotion Development Assistance. It is a scheme which is formulated as a unified scheme by merging different schemes and sub-schemes. And then you have the Interest Subsidy Eligibility Certificate, which provides the credit at concessional rate of interest. And you also have Workshed Scheme for the Khadi artisans, which is a scheme which was introduced in the year 2008 and 9. And we have the strengthening infrastructure of weak Khadi institutions and the assistance for marketing the infrastructure. So the Khadi sector, which is facing the problems or which is turning as a sick unit, has been elevated from D to C category by providing the various assistance. It can be the sales, it can be the employment, or it can be the financial support. You have Koir Udyami Yojana, which is a credit-linked subsidy scheme which provides assistance for setting up of Koir units. Then we have Mahila Koir Yojana. It is an exclusive skill development program for the rural women and artisans in the Koir sector. And then we have Koir S&T scheme, which promotes scientific and technological and economic research and development activities in designing the new products and marketing of Koir and Koir-related products in India. And continuing with that, we have the NGOs and the rural entrepreneurship. So the non-government organizations are playing a very important role in the development of the rural entrepreneurship. So, I mean, the development of entrepreneurship has emerged as a national movement due to the strength to solve the twin problems of the unemployment and the poverty. So in this need of the hour, the spirit of the enterprise among the target population intensified, and during the 90s, with the failure of the trickle-down theory, when we have the benefits to the masses at grassroots level. So it is against this system where the several self-employment and anti-poverty programs were involved in the development of the entrepreneurship. So what are those NGOs? The primary level NGO, which will be mobilizing their own resources and operate at international level, and they execute the developmental activities schemes through the intermediate fall within the category. Like it can be the Christian Children Fund, or it can be the Action Aid, Oxfam. So there are so many prominent examples of the primary level NGOs in India. And intermediate NGOs, these procure funds from the various agencies, impart training and conduct workshops for the target workforce. So it can be SEVA or it can be Awake, which are the intermediary NGOs. And then we have the grassroots level NGOs. These conduct field activities by establishing direct contact with the grassroots needy people. Okay, and they provide the training. Generally the training what they provide is classified into three major categories. It can be the stimulation, where you conducting the EDPs and other training programs for the target people. Or it can be the counseling, the counseling and the consultancy services which are provided to prepare a project feasibility report. Or it can be the assistance, like the target group will be getting the marketing assistance or financial assistance, securing loans. So such kind of, services are provided. And then the NGOs have the strengths like they have flexibility and the responsiveness. They can be near to the client groups. They generally depend on the customer satisfaction, and they stimulate and mobilize the interest in the community. And when we see the weaknesses, there's doubtful leadership and succession. There are no proper leadership, circle. And then the role conflict as to the traditional areas of operation and the micro entrepreneurship development. There is absence of assessment because of self-righteous on the part of NGO leaders. And not all the NGOs are ready and equipped to take the such kind of activities. Okay, so then we have the last subheading, that is EDPs, that is the Entrepreneurship Development Programs. Now, the Entrepreneurship Development Programs are nothing but they help in developing the entrepreneurial skills and abilities that are required to start and run a business successfully. And the government has established various institutes of excellence to promote entrepreneurship in the country. So these institutes, what do? They organize EDPs to encourage the prospective entrepreneurs who are planning to be in the creative field and to establish themselves as the entrepreneurs. So the Entrepreneurship Development Program means it is a program which is conducted to help the person's strength in the entrepreneurial motives. So it can be in acquiring the skills or capabilities which are useful in promoting and running an enterprise effectively. So Entrepreneurship Development Program may be defined as a program designed to help an individual in strengthening his entrepreneurial motive and in acquiring skills and capabilities necessary for playing his entrepreneurial role effectively. Okay, so in this line, with the National Program for the Promotion and Development of Small and Medium Industries, we have the Industrial Service Institute and the Department of Industrial Promotion. So these are all have been launched. And the EDP program helps in developing the skills, the abilities which are required for the successful running of any business. And generally, we find that people are having the skills, but they don't know how to nurture them, how to bring out these skills. And so EDP is a perfect program which will try to frame a structural training process in which the skills can be brought out, those can be nurtured, those can be groomed, and finally you can be successful in the market. Now, coming to the need for the EDP, creation of employment opportunities. EDP empowers the potential entrepreneurs in having their own startups and in a way that will enable to generate self-employment opportunities. It can be the formation of the capital where they can take the developmental assistance from the banks like ICICI, IFCI, IDBI, SFC, SIDBI, and in a way they get the financial assistance through the EDP program. And through EDP, you have balanced regional development. You don't find at one place there is excessive industrialization and one place there is no growth at all. So once the EDP has been provided, the development skills and the programs have been initiated, you can find that there is even growth, balanced growth and development, wherein the spread of the industries is even. And when you are doing the EDP, generally you try to utilize the local resources, the resources which are not utilized because lack of development in that particular area. So, and moreover, it also helps in sustaining development. So EDPs enable existing as well as prospective entrepreneurs to grow and help them initiating and sustaining the process of economic development. And then we have objectives of EDP. The program sought to develop entrepreneurial activities as a vehicle for economic growth and will also have the following objectives, that is to promote and develop the small and medium enterprises. It would encourage them for the self-employment and have their own abilities and capabilities. You can showcase your skills in the market with the wonderful product innovations and practices. And to provide in the rural areas the special programs which are designed and they are stimulated so that they can enter into the new ventures, helps in expansions and diversification. And to generate employment and self-employment in processing of indigenous raw materials. So the local consumptions for the export, so on and so forth. And also to develop the entrepreneurial capabilities which are required by the potential entrepreneurs so that they can upskill their managerial skills. They can upgrade from the existing role of simple entrepreneurs to the multitasking entrepreneurs. So, I mean, they also want to promote the first generation businessmen. So is a first generation businessmen who are into the first kind of a member who are into the business from the family. And it also to generate, I mean, awareness amongst the entrepreneurs about the available resources. And they also want to encourage the self-employment tendencies, and to motivate the people to set up their own entrepreneurship so that they can have the employment generation, and to provide training and other operational informations to the business houses. And then you also have the objective of to provide the knowledge about the various schemes, the government schemes, and the plans or the programs which are unaware by most of the entrepreneurs, and to develop entrepreneurship in the rural areas or in all the areas of the country, and to remove the doubts of entrepreneurs. I mean, the kind of doubts, or it can be the clarity given, or it can be the solutions or the remedies given to the problems. So from a sound training program for the entrepreneurship development, the National Institute for Entrepreneurship and Small Business Development has identified the following important objectives, that is to develop and strengthen their entrepreneurial quality motivation. Okay, quality or motivation. So in a way, the government wants to push the skills which are hidden somewhere in the young entrepreneurs, and to analyze the environment related. It can be the small industry, it can be the small business. Okay, so I mean, you select the projects, you formulate the projects, you understand the process and procedure of setting up the small enterprises. I mean, you have the knowledge and you can influence the source of help support needed for the launching the enterprise. I mean, the managerial skills, the pros and cons of an entrepreneur. So there are such kind of things which play a very prominent role. And apart from that, to acquaint and appreciate the needed social responsibility for the entrepreneurship development in the country. So what are the various programs introduced in EDP in India? So because of the various problems faced by the entrepreneurs in establishing their enterprises, and the government has decided to offer so many promotional packages to these entrepreneurs. So the promotional package includes the financial assistance, it includes the incentives, it includes the infrastructural facilities, the managerial skills, the technical skills, the guidance which is required, and the support system which is required so that the entrepreneurship can be continued. I mean, the business can be continued. So the various facilities, the incentives which are planned, I mean, have been smoothened. I mean, there's a structured format of the benefits reaching the ultimate entrepreneur. So for that, you have so many establishments like Small Industry Extension and Training Institute. Now it is NIMSME in 1962 in Hyderabad. And then this kind of opportunities will be in collaboration with the Harvard universities. And then you also have the Small Industry Development Organization. You have Gujarat Industrial Investment Corporation. So they have started a 3-month training program for the entrepreneurship development in the year 1970. And you have the Small Industry Service Institute, and the Industrial Development Bank of India, the technical consultancy organizations. So all these have started organizing the EDPs and encouraging the EDPs to have their own establishment by providing all the assistance. It can be the financial, technical, or it can be the motivational. So all these things have been provided to the young entrepreneurs. Now, the government of India also established National Institute for the Entrepreneurship and Small Business Development in the year 1983. And this would coordinate the entrepreneurship development activities in the country. So in the course of time, some state governments, with the support of the national level financial institutions, have also established the state level centers for the entrepreneurship development, that is the CED or the Institute of Entrepreneurship Development. So now there are altogether 12 states like Bihar, Goa, Gujarat, Himachal Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, Karnataka, Kerala, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Odisha, Tamil Nadu and Uttar Pradesh who have established either a CED or an IED. That is, CED is Center for Entrepreneurship Development, or it can be the Institute of Entrepreneurship Development. Okay. And at least they have set up these things to develop the skills of the entrepreneurs and to encourage them. Now, coming to the training program, what was the course content and curriculum of EDP? The purpose of the entrepreneurial training program and also the course content or the curriculum of the EDP was outcome based. I mean, whatever the course or the content they are giving, that should bring out the possible outcomes which are expected by the government. So some of the important aspects of the entrepreneurial training are, I mean, to let the entrepreneur set or reset the objectives of his business. Okay, so you set some objectives and after some little time, you feel that these objectives are obsolete and you want to change these objectives. So some kind of realization will come after attending such kind of workshops or the training programs, and to prepare and accept the I mean to bear the raw risks which are unexpected, which are uncertain, to prepare them so that the long-term training program is going to enhance their levels of confidence in bearing the risk or in expecting the risk. And to enable him to take the strategic decisions which are required in the entrepreneurship running, and to build an integrated team so that you have an ideal team which will help you, which will support you in taking the effective decisions or to meet the demands which are there in the market in the long run tomorrow. And the communication should be very fast and clear and effective. So to make them upskill them so that they have the effective communication and the clarity whenever they are trying to inform or pass on the information. And to develop a broad vision to see that the business as a whole and to integrate the functions with it, and to enable to relate the product industry to the total environment, wherein there's some kind of correlation with the industry and with the environment, and to cope with the other activities like the paperwork, the statutory obligations, to make the person ready with the information or the knowledge, to make him subscribe to the industrial democracy, and this can be done with the acceptance of the workers, and to strengthen the passion for the integrity, honesty, and compliances. And what could be the course content and curriculum? So the EDP training will be set up according to the training needs of the participants who are both existing and potential entrepreneurs. So potential entrepreneurs are the entrepreneurs which are going to be the entrepreneurs in future. So currently you have few, but if the opportunities are great, the potential, I mean, who are not into the entrepreneurship might also be motivated to start an entrepreneurial concern. So the training program will be generally with a short duration ranging from 3 to 4 weeks to 3 to 4 months. And longer the duration of the programs, they're also given to enable the participants to get a degree or a diploma. If it is a yearly course, you will get a certification so that, apart from the training, you also get a certification which can be added to your CV or added to your knowledge. This is like, it's a combination of the academics with the industry, where you are trying to improve your academic knowledge with the industrial orientation. So the first module covers with the introduction of the entrepreneurship, the general knowledge on the economic factors affecting the small scale industries, and what was the role of the entrepreneurs in the economic development, what kind of entrepreneurial behavior and the facilities are available. So such kind of information is depicted in this module. And the motivation training, generally the motivation training is a 3-day live-in module. And this aims at increasing the participants' level of achievement as well as the confidence. So how is this done? This is done by developing the right attitude and behavior towards the business. So, generally, the successful entrepreneurs who have made profits, who have a name in the market are called, and they are asked to share their experiences. The ups and downs in their business will try to motivate the young entrepreneurs in bearing the losses or taking the risk. Now, coming to the risk-taking games, apart from the training, the EDPs also contain the set of games which will try to assess the risk-taking behavior of the trainee. So it can be the ring and toss, dice board, etc., which are included in the training and the participations. In the participation team learning, all the participants are made and they are asked to play this game. And basing on the choices, whatever they are making in the play, the trainer will try to access the risk prosperity behavior of the trainee. So in a way, the psychological tests, which are important. The moment you say a psychological test, you come prepared, you train your brain to act and react in a particular manner. And there's a lot of tension. So in a way, by conducting such kind of games, we'll try to bring naturally the psychological attitude of the trainee. And the essentials of the management. This module is aimed by providing the participants with the basic management and technical know-how. So this is required to enable them to operate their business enterprise effectively and efficiently. So generally it consists of the general management, the marketing management, the production management, the financial management. A trainee needs to be confident about these management skills. Unless he is confident with these management skills, he cannot continue continue with the entrepreneurship. So the fundamentals of the project feasibility study. Now, generally, whenever you want to have an entrepreneurship, you need to prepare a project report. So we have seen why the project report is important. A project report is a report which will try to brief up like what you want to be and what kind of products you're going to deal. And basically this project report is submitted to the banks and other financial institutions or to the government to get the benefits, the subsidies, and sometimes to raise the loans and funding if it is to the financial institutions and the banks. So how is this feasibility report? Feasibility project report has to be prepared. So such kind of information can be supplied. In a way, they help in making a better project feasibility report in respect of the marketing or organization or the technical or the financial or the social aspects. So in a way, the project gets accepted or added. And then you have the organizing the business. So the purpose of this module is to enable the participants to know the environment in which they will operate their business. So this will be covering the aspects such as government incentives, industrial opportunities, the policies, the business laws and the regulations, etc. And then you have the next one being the plant visit. This will try to familiarize the participants, make them know the real life situations in the small business. So these small trips will try to make the trainees or the young entrepreneurs learn the practical location, how the location should be there, how the plant has to be designed. And what kind of things are necessary, what should be considered as important while designing the plant. In a way that will also analyze the entrepreneur's behavior, the personality, the kind of aspirations, the kind of plans, what he has in the industrial, all these things can be analyzed. Now, coming to the outcomes of the EDP. Now, the training program has to achieve certain outcomes. So the expected that the participants in the training program will enhance their learning skills and capabilities. So what kind of outcomes are expected? Improvement in entrepreneurial behaviors, like it can be the grasping the opportunity or the taking the initiation, the problem solving approach, maintenance of the autonomously. I mean, managing the affairs autonomously, individually, without taking the help of any other third party. You come forward to take the responsibility and you try to own the things and you try to see the things through. I mean, through in the sense, I mean, what is visible is not actually to be taken. Generally, the visible will be something, and based on that, you have to understand the inner meaning of the business. So some kind of, I mean, intro where you try to see the situations through a different angle. By stepping out from your individual angle, you try to look at the things from a different angle, which will try to give different kind of solutions or suggestions. And putting things together creatively, using judgments to calculate the risk. And then it also helps in understanding the attributes. So the achievement orientation and the motivation, what kind of self-confidence you have, the self-esteem you have, the perseverance, I mean, the tolerance, the high internal locus of control, where you try to believe in yourself. Okay, and the action orientation, the preference of learning by doing. I mean, you just don't want to sit and listen, but you want to do the things and learn the things. And then the hard working, the determination, the creativity, what an entrepreneur has. And apart from that, you also have the honing up of entrepreneurial skills like the problem solving approach, the persuasion, the negotiation, the selling and the proposing, the holistically managing the business projects, the strategic thinking. So these are all will be the learning outcomes of an EDP session. Now, coming to the evaluation of the entrepreneurship development programs. So such kind of a programs will, which are recent in India, have been considered most effective tool for the developing the entrepreneurship skills in the country. So according to the several organizations, the EDPs are conducting some 686 organizations, and they have been training the entrepreneurial training programs, and the participants were numbered in thousands. And the main objective of EDPs is to make the trainee an entrepreneur. And he's a person who is going to generate employment in the market. Okay, so it is necessary to assess whether the objectives of the EDP are fulfilled or not. In other words, the retrospective look will help you whether the participants were able to understand, and the training program in a way help them to be a successful entrepreneur or not. Okay, so it can be there are certain criteria which are followed by the behavioral scientists to assess the effectiveness of the EDPs in motivating the entrepreneurs. That is the activity level of the respondents, how many new enterprises have been established, what were the investments made, and what kind of investment division was it, whether it is fixed assets were made or other assets were made, and how many people were employed, and how many jobs were created, and what kind of sales they have made, and what is the increase in the sales, and what is the percentage of increase in the profits, and what would be the quality of the products and services, whether they are improved or the same level is being supplied. And if your profits are more, definitely your loan repayments will also be quicker. So what is the time taken for the payment of or repayment of the loan? So all these things will be the measurements done by the behavioral scientists. And based on that, the 4 indices have been developed, the 4 dimensions, like the planning orientation, the achievement orientation, the expansion orientation, and the management orientation, which will be the criteria taken as a measurement for the entrepreneurial behavior. So apart from that, we have special institutions for the EDP. So the government has established various institutes of excellence to promote entrepreneurship in the country. So these institutes organize EDPs to encourage the prospective entrepreneurs to become entrepreneur creators or enterprise creators. So apart from the training, the prospective entrepreneurs are are rendered services such as through these entrepreneurship development. So there are 3 institutes of prominence which are untiringly working towards the entrepreneurship development. The first one being the National Institute for Micro, Small, Medium Enterprises, NIMSME. So it was originally set up by the Central Industrial Extension Training Institute in New Delhi in the year 1960 as a department under the Ministry of Industry and Commerce. So it was decided to keep it free from the tardy and impending administrative controls and the procedures so that the institute can play a very important role in the promotion of small enterprises. So that was the reason why the institute was shifted to Hyderabad in the year 1962. And this was named as Small Industry Extension Training, SIET Institute. And it was conferred the status of National Institute by the Government of India with the Charter of the Assistance in the Promotion of Small Enterprises. And this is mainly by creating a pro-business environment. And in the year 1984, the UNIDO has recognized SEAT as an institute of meritorious performance under the Centers of Excellence scheme. And it was also accorded with the national status in the same year. And SEAT Institute became National Institute of Small Industry Extension and Training. Since then, the institute has come a long way by making distinctive domains in the entrepreneurship promotion and achieving recognition, both at the state as well as the international areas. And to the when we are talking about the objectives, the first and foremost objective is to provide and supervise, plan and train the persons who are engaged in the small industrial development, and to sponsor and undertake the research programs which are related to the development of small industries, and to enter and execute technical assistance and agreements with international or other organizations for the provisions of the services for the development of small industry. And today, with the technological development and ever-changing market scenario, we find that the trainers has widened their scope of activities to consultancy, to the research, to extension and information services. So what kind of services they are providing, like the management development programs, and a program on area development, program on feasibility survey and analysis, program on industrial estates, program for the young engineers and technocrats. There's vertical integration from small industry development for the IAS and IES officers. So exclusive programs are there for the international executives for the various themes. There is sensitivity training in production planning and control, faculty development programs to train the faculties, and cluster development programs, focused themes, so on. So many programs have been introduced and organized. And coming to the next institute is the Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India, EDII. So this was set up as a non-profit organization in the year 1983. And it is sponsored by apex financial institutions like IDBI, IFCI, ICICI, and State Bank of India. And the government of Gujarat has pledged 23 acres of the land for the Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India. And in order to broaden the frontiers of entrepreneurship research, they have established a research center for the research in entrepreneurship education and development, that is CREED, and this is to investigate into a range of issues surrounding small and medium enterprise sectors. And coming to the various activities, it has successful in creating multiplier effect on the opportunities for the self-employment. They have augmented the supply of competent entrepreneurs. They have augmented the supply of trainees, the participation in institutional building efforts, and they were able to infuse the need for the entrepreneurship growth amongst the youth. And they were developing and disseminating the new knowledge and insight in entrepreneurial theory And they also are into improving the managerial capabilities of the small scale industries. They are into collaborations. They are into facilitating so many aspects as facilitators. And then the last one being the National Institute for the Entrepreneurship and Small Business Development. So this is a premier organization of the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. And this is engaged in the training, consultancy, and the research. So in order to promote entrepreneurship and skill development, so they have functioned with the major activities which are at par with the other similar organizations, wherein they are able to see that international participants are also hailed, and throughout the globe, they are into the participation and the training programs and the management development programs. So the basic objectives are to standardize the systematic process of selection, training, and support for the potential as well as the existing entrepreneurs, to support and motivate institutions and organizations in carrying out the training. And apart from that, as an apex national level resource institute, they want to accelerate as well as enhance the process of entrepreneurship development, and they want to focus as a measure to impact within the strata of the society. And apart from that, they want to provide the vital information to support the trainees, to create holistic environment wherein the trainer can get trained, promote and provide the consultants in the diverse fields, and to offer consultancy services both nationally and internationally for the promotion of the entrepreneurship and the small businesses development, to provide national, international forums for the interaction and the exchange of the ideas. And apart from that, they also have to share the experiences and the expertise wherein that will nurture the young entrepreneurs in learning and understanding, and to interchange the international experience and the expertise to the entrepreneurship development, so that will help them in mapping the development and the scope for the international levels. Okay, so this is where we end the syllabi. So this is the model question paper for the entrepreneurship development, where your maximum marks are 70 and the minimum marks are 28. And then this is the question paper, wherein out of 20, you're supposed to answer 4 questions. Sorry, 4 marks, and you're supposed to answer out of 8 questions, any 5. And 3 questions which carry 10 marks from the section 2. And the last section will be a case study analysis. So generally, you have to go through the case. You'll get the answers from the case, and you're supposed to answer the 3 basic questions which are provided in the case study analysis. So this is how you have to answer and analyze. The basic thing is you need to answer all the questions. Don't leave any question. Okay, so I mean, at least you try to attempt the question by giving the basic information about that particular question. Don't leave any question in the examination. And the case study analysis, try to read 2 or 3 times the case study, note down the points, and the same points can be exhibited in the case study analysis. So any more doubts you have? Yeah, today only Maunika is there, Kumar isn't there. So Maunika, did you understand the concepts? So with this, we complete the syllabi, the syllabus of the entrepreneurship development. So today will be the last session. So all the best, students. So any doubts, Monica? So if no doubts are there, I'm done. So, as I said, please answer all the questions. Don't leave any questions. Try to understand the gist of the content so that you can make, you can create your own answers. So the conceptual oriented aspects you can take. I think in the net, the previous question papers are available from the website. So please go through the question papers and try to answer the questions. So I'm leaving the meet, because I hope there are no doubts from Monika's side.